that, cause it's judging Silicon Valley. Now, give it up for your hosts, Ryan and Jeff. Woo!
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to Judging Silicon Valley. Of course, this is the show where we judge Mike Judge's show about Silicon Valley. But happy holidays. We're here during the season break. Actually, season 2 will begin in February.
Guest is getting ornery over here.
Guest is getting ornery already. You haven't even got through the introduction here.
My neck is hot.
There we go. Well, sitting with us here for this special At the Movies edition with Jeff and Ryan, we have a special guest. It's Emily Van Dyke, everybody. EVD.
Hey, that's me.
Internets.
There we go. There we go.
2 subscribers, I think we're at
all
now.
2 subscribers. We're looking pretty hot.
Hey, you
pretty
two.
hot.
You know what we forgot to do?
What did we forget to
Turn
do
on
this
the
time?
lights.
Okay. We're
Call
gonna
them
turn on
by
the lights.
name.
Hold on. Get ready out there. And 1, 2, 3. Boom. There we go. Wow. Wow. Jesus.
It's like we're on the beach with Sandra Bullock.
Yikes.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert. Well, Emily, that's right. Today's episode of At the Movies is covering, we've been talking about this since we started doing this, the 1995 hit Sandra Bullock vehicle, The Net. That's right. That's right. So we're going to get into this, but first, Emily, we're excited to have you here.
We are.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, really?
Like 70%.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it is Monday.
I got a run in,
Monday.
and so I feel really ready to...
Feeling good. Got the Invisalign in right now. So
you know,
that's pretty
this
good.
is part of it, so...
When did you get the Invisalign?
October of 2013, and I only have 1 month left.
Are you
I
excited?
hope.
You pumped?
I can't wait to French
You know how you
kiss.
should
I'm so
celebrate the
excited.
end of the Invisalign?
French kissing.
No, watching The Net, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
What's fun is when you finally get the Invisalign off, your jaws will unhinge like a boa constrictor. Which I think in your social circles is a plus. Is that correct?
I don't know what
Yeah,
you're
because
implying.
your
don't
jaw
know.
muscles
I don't
aren't
know what I'm
developed
implying.
anymore because the rubber bands have been helping for so long that, like,
It's the anti-TMJ.
yeah, you need to do some jaw exercise.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
so
not the
bad.
first time I've heard that. Okay.
All right,
Right.
derailed.
Sorry, what happened? Sandra
Oh, boy.
Bullock, 1995. We were all there.
That's right. That's right. So I do want to jump into this, but just a quick preamble here. Again, what we try and do. I don't know if Solar Babies counted at all, but we try and at least pull these movies that are somewhat tech related, somewhat Silicon Valley related. So before we jump in here, I'm just curious, Emily, just your overall real experience with the real Silicon Valley. Do you have any stories to share with us? Any tech bros or anything that comes to mind?
Can I pass?
Sure.
you can ask the audience.
What do you two think?
I think that you're living in the valley, and that yeah, that's my whole story.
Okay.
This is a great intro, Ryan.
I do live
Looks
in the
good.
I do live in the Mission, and
Yeah.
I saw the line for the Google bus the other day, and I wanted to jump the curb a little bit, but I didn't.
Yeah. Describe what was the attire? What was everyone wearing?
Casual.
Double casual?
Some people had their dogs to go.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
A lot of flip-flops?
Not yet.
Not
You
yet.
know, it's raining.
It's a
here.
weird time of year for flip-flops.
Yeah, it's more UGG season. You know,
Male UGG?
Male
those dudes wearing
and
Uggs.
sweatpants. So yeah, it's
Excuse me.
good. I actually did a charity show at the yacht club on Saturday, and it was for all tech workers.
Okay. Keep
And I
talking.
accidentally got drunk enough to tell everyone that I would rather live in a pre-internet. But they thought I said free internet, and they all agreed.
And they cheered.
They talked about how great it would be to have free internet, and then I felt horrible that I
So
actually
you went with it.
no, I told them, no, I said pre-internet, but you can't understand me because of the Invisalign. And then they were not excited that they had hired me.
Yeah. But you
And-
still cashed the check, right?
Yes,
I mean, yeah. Okay. That's
Yes.
good.
And I,
San Francisco Yacht Club. Yeah, that is
yeah, I had a
hoity-toity.
really nice pork.
I have never been to the San
Medallions.
Francisco Yacht Club.
You haven't?
No, you've won up to me.
And probably one of several ways. This
Yeah.
is just the first one that we're going to bring up.
You have more Invisaligns than me, too.
It's true. I have 36 trays.
San Francisco Yacht Club is nothing but Spaldings from Caddyshack. That's all it is. Just a bunch of Spaldings.
way
That's
to pull out a reference, right?
all. You know,
Yeah.
I stick with 25-year-old or plus references. That's correct.
Big Trouble in Little China? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Greatest movie ever made.
Thank you.
Speaking of movies that have been made, there was a movie made in 1995 called The Net with Sandra Bullock. Now, again, Jeff and I were talking about this since we decided to do the at the movies reviews, thinking, "Oh, this is going to be fun. It'll be so much fun to make fun of this." This is like known as this classically bad movie about the 90s internet. I'm just going to jump in here before the recap. This is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen. It was very, very boring.
I was bored with The Social Network.
Yeah.
But I was not bored enough to stop watching.
Sure.
I'm just like, can this be over now? The net... Or about 10 stops.
Yeah, it took me 3 hours to watch it because I kept stopping it.
Now,
I was really bored.
Another point about the net, it's an hour and 54 minutes.
Way too long.
Way too
In
long.
95, that was like the Hobbit of 1995.
Yeah, that's like Braveheart length.
If
That's
they-
like a 2 VHS cassette box for the net. Yeah.
Which is maybe why you can't find it on Amazon, because no one wants to host that much terrible video.
Correct.
On their website.
Yeah, we can only find it on Crackle, but that means you get a commercial break every 7 minutes.
Not
which
if you use
adds
ad
to
block.
this. Yeah. Oh, did you? I'm not smart enough for that, but all right.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so the net. Here we go. I'm going to do the quick recap, and then we're going to jump in and just get Emily's overall thoughts. Okay, here we go. That's good.
We're at a cool 6 minutes.
6:03. Go. Okay, it's 6 minutes. Okay, The Net, set in 1995. Sandra Bullock plays a character by the name of Angela Bennett. She works basically as a freelance virus scrubber for a company that does video games and such called Cathedral. She's actually working on bugs for Castle Wolfenstein 3D at the beginning of the movie. Cut to,
it's true.
She receives a package, a FedEx package, where she puts it in here, and again, it's
Okay, I'm going to stop you here for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
This is already too long to go over the recap of this shitty movie.
Well, I'm just doing the setup, and then it's basically to the end, is what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
But, okay, so she gets
FedEx
this,
package.
FedEx package, and it's basically for Mozart's Ghost. Mozart's Ghost, yeah! Anyhow, that's basically the gatekeeper software, which somehow can get in backdoor of anything FBI, CIA, what have you. This is how insane the movie is. She goes on a vacation in Mexico. An Englishman is trying to murder her the entire movie.
Well,
doesn't make sense why he's trying to murder her. Honestly, I
No,
can't
it
figure
does.
this out. Well,
You just probably weren't awake at that part of the movie.
it's still not clear to me. But so an adventure ensues here about she has the disc. Where's the disc? Her identity is stolen, and then at the end, she pushes the bad guy off of the rafters at Moscone Center in San Francisco with a fire extinguisher.
Yes.
The end.
A local favorite.
It is a lot.
I was surprised to hear it. I was like, hey, I know that place. I've
Putting
been
that
there.
on my tour next
Unlike
time
the
people come
Yacht
through.
Club.
Yeah, fuck the Yacht Club.
Now and again, that's a 2-hour movie, and what I just told you is the film.
Yeah, so there's, I would say, a good
Really slow.
10, 15 minutes of plot at the beginning, and then it's like speed, where there's like nothing really going on, but things are sort of happening for an hour and a half, and then the guy dies. And Dennis Miller dies,
Dennis Miller,
by the way.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch the movie. I'm sorry,
Good for you.
everyone watching.
Now, see,
just a moment
we've
of
had-
honesty. I did watch the YouTube trailer,
Okay.
and I also read 3 synopses.
You
I'm
watched it
holding
back
up-
in the day, though.
I'm holding up. Yeah, I did watch it back at the appropriate time when I had People PC dial-up and a Yahoo account. But
very nice.
I thought maybe it would probably be better if I didn't spend 2 more hours of my one and only life watching this shithole movie. So I apologize.
No, I understand. And here's the thing.
No,
about
see, I'm at. This is the only guest that multiple guests have not watched the show or
that's
watched
true.
part of it
That's
or
true.
whatever, and that's fine. But I'm more pissed that I had to suffer through it on this one.
Hey, you're responsible for you, and you need to take full
Gotta
responsibility
live,
for
gotta
your
live our own
choice.
lives.
I'm gonna
That's
go
right.
get some UGG boots and wait in the Google line just to piss you off.
I mean, everyone knows about this movie. Everyone's heard of The Net with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
right?
because everything that happened in this movie has happened since it came out.
Well, that's true. That's true, and it did well. It did over 100 million in box office
In '95, which is
That's
good.
pretty good. It had a sequel. It was direct to video, but also a TV
it had
series.
a sequel, The
Yes.
Net 2?
Net 2.0.
Direct to
The
video.
Net 2.0 direct to video and a
Amazing.
TV series in 1998.
It's actually
TV
easier
series.
to find that direct to video.
The Gatekeeper didn't
Yeah.
come on a floppy disk.
Yeah.
It came on a USB.
There you go.
Net 2.0.
There you go. And here's what's really crazy about it. And again, it's such a boring movie, but everyone knows. Here's what's crazy. It's directed by Irwin Winkler. All right, and this is what I do as I look these things up.
Pat Winkler's son.
I thought, Henry Winkler.
Or Henry Winkler, sorry.
Irwin Winkler. No, Irwin Winkler
I know a guy named Pat Winkler.
produced over 50 movies in Hollywood, including Rocky, which he got an Oscar for.
I've heard that
Raging
movie's
Bull,
good.
Goodfellas.
All good.
And The Net. I can't figure out, how is this? I mean, it's like everything's lined up for this to be a great movie, and it's just boring.
Let me ask you a question. Which movie was more enjoyable, Solar Babies or The Net?
Solar Babies, hands down.
Okay.
Hands down, even though Solar Babies is horrible. I mean, everything about this
I
movie.
have no idea what Solar Babies is.
So let me explain. Let me do a quick recap of Solar Babies.
We're going to do a recap of our recap of
Okay.
Solar Babies. All right, there we go.
In Solar Babies, some young, it's post-apocalyptic world where there's no water. There's some kids in an orphanage that play this roller skating game with balls that they throw into a hole.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the cops break it up, and one of the kids finds a magical ball that basically is the god of the world.
Everything he's saying is true.
And the thing is able to create rain. And
The ball from the roller
eventually the
skating
kids take down the government with this magical ball
That
and the
sounds
rollerblades.
way better than The Net.
See?
I would have watched that.
Yeah. Well, you weren't on that episode.
Well,
So we're stuck with this. We're stuck with this. The net. So here's my notes here about it, just to poke holes in it. First, I noticed that Sandra Bullock's character, this master hacker, she's online maybe 6 minutes during the whole movie. So again, it's more of an identity.
Now,
theft,
to be fair to the
doppelganger
movie, though, she's trying not to be online for most of it.
because she's trying to reconnect with her Alzheimer mother, or what?
But she's trying not to be online so they can't find her. Right?
But she
Ruth
doesn't know what else
Marks
to do.
and all that. Yes, I guess so. But it just seems like it should have maybe a different title.
The movie's called The Net, and it could be
it's like 6 minutes. She orders a pizza, she checks her email in Mexico, and then is on for the very end. And that's it.
Yeah.
It seems like in 1995 you don't have to try that hard to not be on the internet.
Well,
you basically
yeah.
don't
That's
have
fair.
to like sit down at a computer cafe or whatever there was back then.
That's true. And that's where I rewound this thrice to make sure I was hearing it correctly.
How many times?
Thrice.
Okay.
That's once more than twice. She meets the dashing Jack Devlin English guy in the Mexican beach.
The murderer.
And she unzips this crazy laptop box.
Yeah.
It was great. I don't know if you recognize that, what the fuck that was. I mean, that's 95 tech. But she said, so isn't it just like us? Here we are on this beautiful beach, and all I'm looking at is Sandra Bullock. All I'm looking to do is find a modem. She said modem, not modem. Again,
A modem.
Modem. I rewound it 3 times. So either there's 2 things there. She obviously had never been online at that point in 1995. That's passable. I was barely online. But that also means that no one on the set
Was like,
corrected her.
hey.
Like, that's not how you say it.
Modem.
Modem. That bothered me a little bit.
That was great. Emily's fascinated by this.
Thank you.
I'm just fascinated by the idea that you could be on the beach on the internet and try to find a modem.
That's really strange.
Where did they have these did they have something in the sand?
Back in
Like
the
those-
day,
like
I don't know
those
if you remember
long
this, they
cables.
had circuit cities, and they would be on the
Yep.
beach. They were on every beach.
Is that right?
Yeah, no.
No. Where did you plug in your 40-pound laptop at
Well,
the
see,
beach?
that's the whole, why does she unzip her laptop on the beach
And
and
in
then starts
Mexico-
asking, where's the modem?
So back in that day, too, you'd get 30 minutes of power on a laptop,
yeah.
per
Plus, you're
charge.
in Mexico. Really, is Mexico really leading the world in beach internet access?
Yes.
A lot of things
And
don't make
beach
sense.
power to the internet? Yes. It's
agree
powered
with
by small children in the background. You feed them papaya, and they run on treadmills to power your laptop. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of insane shit in here. Another thing that did come to mind, I'm not quite sure when did Jurassic Park come out? Help me out with this.
Same time-ish?
Yeah, I think so.
Same time as, see, that's what's interesting because
This is a Unix system.
94, 92?
No.
Yeah, I want to say 94, 95.
94, 95, yeah.
But anyhow, we all remember Muldoon, right? And Clever Girl.
Yes.
Right? So when Sandra Bullock,
they said clever girl in the movie in the net.
they're
in the trailer
because she has the real estate guy's cell phone.
Yeah.
The big brick, not the original '80s brick, but like the flip top brick. And she gives it to the homeless guy. So they find the killer finds the homeless guy, and it's Muldoon. Just a quick. Clever girl. And I was thinking, which came first here? Muldoon?
Yeah, was that a callback?
Is it a callback?
I think
or
it's
did
a
Jurassic Park steal from the net? Which would make me happy, but yeah. All right.
Why would that make you happy? I like the callback better.
I do too. Well, someone
more
on the
sense.
set's like, there's a better movie with dinosaurs. Just say this line.
Yeah.
Let's make people dream of dinosaurs for like 2 seconds before we get on this shitty plot.
Also, so her identity is completely wiped away by this evil. What are they called? The Praetorians. The Praetorians, right? They're the people.
Did you look up the root of this word?
Praetorians were the Roman emperor's bodyguards.
Oh.
Praetorians. There we go. But
the software is supposed to be security software.
gatekeeper. That's correct.
Right, but they put a back door in so they can get into shit.
That's right. Sandra Bullock says it's a Trojan horse about like 7 times in the movie.
Yeah.
Like just people she meets on the
At
street.
least she
It's a
pronounced-
Trojan horse.
She pronounced that right, though, every
It's
time.
a Trojan. It's a Trojan horse. No, where's my maidum? So the Praetorians, right? They wipe away her identity. She gets back from Mexico after 3 days. After in a dinghy hits a rock and apparently is in a coma for 3 days. Okay. After the 3 days of the coma, her house is gone. Her identity's gone.
They moved fast.
They moved really fast. It's 72
It's like, by the
hours.
way, we sold your house. There's someone else that took your job.
Yeah.
But we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming because her mother had Alzheimer's. It's like the foreshadowing of all time, right? It's like even your own mother doesn't
remember who you are.
That's pretty
Which
good.
is fair because her mom
Whoever
probably
wrote that in
doesn't
was a genius.
want to think of her daughter debugging Castle Wolfenstein fucking
course
9 o'clock
not.
at night.
No, I like
Talking to Cyber Bob.
Cyber Bob.
No name is creepier than Cyber Bob.
Cyber
in the
Bob.
chat room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's trying to figure out how can I prove who I am. And what came to mind here is there's a lot of time.
She doesn't have like an old boyfriend or something from like she has no one.
Well, that's Dennis Miller, who does die.
oh,
Yeah, she gets Dennis Miller killed.
Dennis Miller is in this movie. It doesn't make any sense.
He's in a lot of movies around that time, though, just as like these weird...
Bordello of Blood. That's a pretty good one.
That's a shining moment in movie history.
I love that he's in this movie. It's just like, Sandy, you're talking to me. You sound like Queeg. Like, what's going on? But all right. Anyhow, but there's a lot spent here with pizza.net. Pizza.net.
Did you Google it?
It doesn't exist. I wish it did.
is it a pizza place?
Well, right. That's what she does, like for her date night.
She orders a pizza.
So why
online.
Why doesn't she just contact pizza? Someone's bringing her the pizza.
Yeah.
They can say, yeah, she's the one.
She's the one who's ordered 15
I bring her the
pizzas.
pizza. That's her. That's Angela. I don't know this Ruth Marks.
Sausage and mushroom.
Yeah.
Every time.
There is
Crazy Sandy.
There is a
Sandy.
Sandy's always there every Friday with the pizza with the anchovies. Like, Angela, it's you. Yeah, who's Ruth Marks? I was trying to look up if Ruth Marks meant anything.
No.
Just a name. But there is someone who's had the Twitter handle since 2009 that's I'm not Ruth Marks. And I went to the profile picture, and it's Sandra Bullock from this movie on the beach. And the explanation is, I keep telling you I'm not Ruth Marks. I'm Angela Bennett. I just thought that was
Does
funny.
someone still tweet on that profile?
I hope so. I'm gonna look for you. We're gonna tag you. I'm not Ruth Marks. All right.
This podcast is
pretty
going to
funny.
be at I'm not Ruth Marks. the only play it's had in a long
Makes
time.
me happy. Makes me happy.
He probably has more Twitter followers than we do.
Yeah. He or she. We don't know. We don't know.
The person. Whoever's not Ruth Marks.
Mm-hmm. No, but okay. Just Jeff, you said it was very clear. It's not. I watched the movie.
No, so...
Why did they need to kill her? I don't understand.
She knew
doesn't
too
make
much.
sense.
She
Well,
opened the window.
okay.
It had
But
all
she
that
didn't know what
information.
was
That is
going on
bullshit.
in
She had
Mexico.
no idea what was going
So
on.
they could have just moved on.
She had found that this one guy that she was working with, one guy got a virus,
Yeah.
which in 95 is not that amazing or surprising.
Sure.
And he's like, well, I had this software installed. And she's literally like, huh. And then moves on with the conversation, right?
Then then his plane goes down.
And then his plane crashes. Then a senator shoots himself in the mouth
because he gets fake
AIDS. Fake AIDS
results. He gets fake AIDS and kills himself. Like, all right.
The test, to be clear, the test results did not say you tested positive for fake AIDS.
It said you tested positive for real AIDS.
For real AIDS. Mm-hmm. But it was actually...
And she came too late to say, this is all a mistake.
She didn't find out till he was way dead.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it sucks to be him.
Was it ever uncovered that he didn't have AIDS?
Yes, she found out later.
At the very end, when she goes to...
now, see, at that point, when someone's killed a senator, maybe you want to kill that chick, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. But, like, she only went that far because they were trying to kill her.
Yes, and the timeline in the movie, that's 2.5 weeks. Also, where the worst assassin in the world has failed to kill her in 4 cities and 2 countries over 2.5 weeks. Like, just leave her alone. I don't understand.
Yeah, she's confused. No one even knows her. She has no friends. How dangerous can she be? She can't even go to anyone.
He probably would have been better off, leaving her alone and her just wandering the streets like...
Who's gonna believe her? She doesn't even know her own name. She doesn't even have her own fingerprints.
Makes no sense.
She's a crazy person. Yeah. Also, she's a female in tech in 95. She's obviously nuts.
Well, and in L.A.
Yes.
So she's in the wrong city even.
Well, I thought...
So many bad life choices.
But thematically, I think what we learn from this movie is if you have a one-night stand with Sandra Bullock in Mexico, she will beat you to death on a catwalk in Moscone Center in San Francisco. And that's what happens. I think that's the message of this movie.
If she doesn't, she'll get you killed.
Yeah.
Because you're allergic to penicillin.
I think we learned that.
Thanks for killing the conversation, Ryan.
And that's that. Now we move on to The Blind Side or Miss Congeniality 2.
Ooh. How about... What was the movie she was in with the bigger lady that they were both cops and she was a straight cop?
The Heat.
The Heat. That movie is actually pretty decent.
That was.
That would have been much more enjoyable to watch.
Tech? Can we talk about that?
There is tech. Let's talk about it. There's cars in it. There's cell phones.
That's true.
As much as was in this movie.
I do have one more nerd thing here to share
of
Ryan trying to find things interesting in this movie.
This was an area code 212 suggestion, too. We should call that out.
It was? Okay, we'll give... All right, fuck you again.
Wait, someone from outside suggested that we watch this movie.
Yes.
I think the net was like the original suggestion.
It was the net, and what was the other one that we actually watched? Social Network. Yeah.
There you go. Area 212. You did it again.
Batting 1,000.
Boring person.
Keep those suggestions coming. We can't wait to watch the next thing.
Actually, you can suggest them to not the Ruth Marks account.
Yeah. That's right. I'm not Ruth Marks. I'm not Ruth Marks. The offices there of Cathedral, which is the company that she works for, right? So she finally gets to San Francisco, which is the very end of the movie, right? It's mostly in Venice or probably Hollywood and this.
It's a lot of Venice. I was surprised.
A lot of Venice, California.
Venice.
But they do get to San Francisco at the very end of the movie. Now, the Cathedral offices, that's actually the McKesson building, which is actually very close to Murphy's Pub there. It's Montgomery and Post.
Comedy every Thursday.
There you go. But
arguably,
when she,
there's a show.
There's something happening. That's right. So when she leaves the McKesson building, which is the Cathedral offices, on her way to the Moscone Center, she's dressed as a fireman to escape. And there's a protest march because we're San Francisco.
Of course.
And this again, I had to freeze frame. What do you think the protest march was protesting in 1995?
Whaling.
No, the Gulf War.
No, it was for affordable health care. Affordable health care. It's kind of a weird thing that's happening there in the net in 1995. All right.
That was so fascinating. I wish you had more useless facts like that.
Nope, I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
That was all you got out of the Wikipedia article?
That's all I got. That one I had to freeze frame, actually.
No more cultural relevance to this?
No.
What was the best freeze frame you think we've found so far? I think it was stuff on the actual show that we're supposed to be talking about.
The actual Silicon Valley show?
Yeah, the company names, failed company names.
It's a good thing they're starting up in February because we're running out of fucking movies here quickly.
I don't know. Mozart Ghost, that's a pretty good concept, I think.
Mozart's Ghost, which I think is Matthew Lillard's voice. I'm going to go back to Hackers with that one.
Did you see Hackers,
Ghost.
By the way?
Of course I've seen Hackers.
Much better movie.
I think I'm going to name my firstborn Dade. Definitely. It's on my baby list name.
Are you serious?
baby name list. Yes.
All right.
I think it's the first name I ever put on a baby name list.
If you really want to get Ryan going, all you have to do is mention Matthew Lillard.
Mozart's Ghost, yeah!
He hates
I love
that
that
guy.
I do hate that guy.
Him on rollerblades is like everyone's worst nightmare.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. With the I don't want to talk
With
about
the stretch
it.
pants.
I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to talk about
See?
So sorry. I want to keep talking about it.
You know, the best part about that movie,
Is Angelina Jolie.
well, no, is him
Well, true.
screaming, what is it, free the net or something, whatever bullshit they shout in there.
Oh,
as he's getting
yeah.
put in the cop car. He's like,
Oh.
I got the disc, man. Free the net. Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. This is what the net does. It brings you to talk about any other movie but the net.
Including Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
I like that the internet has gone through so many stages of naming, right? It used to be the web, and then it was, and now, people called it the net, and now what is it?
Well, I like, and that's, I was actually, we're on the
I'm so
wavelength
sorry to
here.
get ahead of you.
No,
On
we're on
your
the wavelength.
agenda.
You're kind of looking at this, but don't look too close here.
I'm sorry,
This
just
isn't
looking
a
at
quiz.
pizza.
Yeah, this isn't a quiz question, but
You
I
have
didn't want
pizza
to.
on
I
there.
did want to bring
Pizza
this
now.
up to the panel here about that terminology, the net versus the web. And I did my research, but
Oh.
they actually are different things. They're not
Yes.
synonymous.
Yes.
They're not synonymous.
These-
So I'm
Just like a dog is not a cat.
That's
well, okay.
that's not the same.
I would say it's more of a Venn diagram type of thing.
I don't know what kind of cat and dog things you're looking at.
Well, no. So
It's like right here is like some kind of griffin thing. Like, what are we talking about?
I like that. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're
just
wrong.
People are curious.
I can't correct you?
Net versus web. Sure.
Actually, you can correct first. You get right of first correction.
Here's my understanding. The net.
Yeah, let's both look at him like we're really interested.
the net or the internet. Yes.
Mhm, yeah.
Is basically the system of hardware, computers, and technology. The web itself lives on the net in the form of HTML.
Spider silk.
In the form of spider silk.
So-
That's correct. That's my understanding of. So they are not synonymous. The net and the web are not the same.
I was going to
thing.
draw the analogy. There's like, don't watch this show, right? And there's Ryan Cronin and a bunch of other people
Last
on this
Thursday
show,
of every month starting in
right?
January.
That are
that's
really,
correct.
really good. And then there's this thing, Bert, that lives on top of the show.
Ooh.
That
Okay.
kind of like he needs the show to survive.
Yeah.
Does that make it more analogous to you? But like no one.
Don't watch the show is the net.
Yeah.
And this thing called a Bert.
Yeah.
Is the web.
Yeah, and Bert, like the show
Yeah.
can totally
Yeah.
exist without Bert just fine.
Yeah.
But then, Bert can't do shit without the show.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hope he listens to this. I hope he does.
I'm not a part of this, Bert. I think you're the spider.
But you are right. You
or
are right.
The fly. I'm not sure in this analogy.
We're doing exactly what you told us to do before we started recording, Emily.
Which is
I don't
what?
know. This whole thing. You,
Oh.
you like scripted this out for us to do.
I was like, the
Bert
end
thing?
of it is us just talking shit about Bert.
And by the way, most of the web works on port 80 of the Internet Protocol. Just
I don't know what you're saying now.
Okay.
Except
No, I
for-
like that. I like when it comes out there. We learn. So we're a little early here.
I'm a
We got
nerd.
anything else we want to talk about before we jump
no,
into the
I
quiz?
really want this episode to be over. I mean, Emily's delightful, but
What do you? But
doing fine.
you
We're-
before we started filming, you were talking about identity theft. You don't think that they just put that out there as a possible risk? And
we should talk about that.
we
though.
should talk.
Okay.
I think right. I mean,
Because
Sandra Bullock brought
we
it
were
up.
talking that the movie's oddly prophetic, right? Because she gets her identity stolen, which in that time frame was largely unheard of.
I know, and my identity has been stolen to purchase a $450 couch at Meijer in Michigan.
But recently, right? In the last like 5 years or
And
something.
if I would have just listened to Sandra Bullock, I would have protected my passwords more closely.
This is interesting, and I want you guys to go with this. But and I even have this down. Is one of the problems, although it was relatively successful, one of the problems that critics had with this movie in '95 is that its premise was almost too hard for them to believe.
Is
That
that
it was-
right?
That's kind of funny.
That's
Very
correct.
believable.
And then
Nowadays,
it's become more
yeah.
popular,
Except for the
Yeah.
whole, I'd want to kill you because you found a virus.
Yeah,
But-
there's no dashing Englishman by the name of Jack Devlin that come and kill
The
you with a
tech part.
silencer.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
Will Smith movie was the same way, right? The one where they dropped the something in his lingerie bag.
Yeah.
Remember?
Well, now they have Identity Thief, the movie with Jason Bateman, where he gets his identity stolen by the same girl that's in The Heat. And it's all coming back to Sandra Bullock.
Oh,
But
she's the one behind all of this. That's what's going on. Oh,
Sandra Bullock probably bought that sofa.
So the point, point is if you find out about identity theft, you get offed. Nobody.
Someone tries to off you, but eventually you get back at your almost killer with a fire extinguisher.
Is there a point at the end of the movie
at the
where
catwalk in Moscone Center?
does she reestablish her identity and like?
They don't really go over it.
It's the last scene where the screen that says
Does
Ruth
someone call her
Marks.
Angela at the end? Like Angela, and she's so happy.
She's looking at it. She's back at the headquarters cathedral, and it says Ruth Marks, and then it just becomes pixelated and turns into flowers.
Oh.
So I guess
It's the dumbest thing because they don't even resolve that main plot point of like she.
Changes back all of her identity points.
Murdered a man. She just murdered him.
She committed murder.
As Ruth Marks.
She committed murder.
Exactly.
So she got away with it. So maybe she stole her own identity so she could kill this man. And maybe this whole thing is just a farce, just like this whole show is to talk shit about Burt.
Got it.
Inception.
Wow. Emily wrapped it up. Okay, everyone. Thanks for listening this week.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said,
Ruth Marks.
Here we are. We're going to play the Scrum Masters Quiz Movie Edition.
Did Ryan prep
Sandra
you on
Bullock's
this?
The
No.
Net.
Okay.
I don't know about this quiz.
Okay, Emily. So this is no problem here. I'll let Jeff break down how we're going to play.
Okay, Ryan's going to ask you 3 questions.
Uh-huh.
He wants answers. You're not going to get the answer.
Because
You're better
I
off.
watch it.
Well, that and he pulls weird questions out of his ass.
Okay.
The best bet is just come up with a random ass answer that's at least funny.
Okay.
If you're not funny, we will put you in the Burt bin at the end of the show.
Yeah.
What's that mean? Did he say Burt or burp?
Burt.
Yeah. His dead body is in the back room.
Oh.
Yeah.
So okay, here we go. This is Scrum Masters Quiz. It's 3 questions. Here we go. We'll start with Emily and then Jeff, and then I'll give you the correct answer. All right. Question number 1. Again, this movie is set in 1995. It's called The Net. We were just talking about the net versus the web.
We're not on the question yet.
There we go. What was the name of the most widely used browser in 1995?
Ask Jeeves.
I like that. I like that. You were very certain about it.
I still Google things in Ask Jeeves format.
You use Ask Jeeves, huh?
Yes.
Mozilla.
Mozilla. All right,
What?
going for it.
Yeah, Mozilla, and I'm gonna say that it was version 0.837.
0.837. Mozilla 0.837.
6 repeating.
Forever.
Yeah,
Okay.
forever.
So I've got Ask Jeeves.
It wasn't Ask
and an
Jeeves?
infinite answer. No, these are good answers. Now, some people say that in 1995, by far the most widely used browser was Netscape Navigator.
Which became Mozilla. But
Internet Explorer 1.0 was launched in August of 95 and then did take off, but Netscape and Navigator 95 was by far. Some people think that.
I think Ask Jeeves probably wins.
Well, no, but actually the true
I like that
real
butler.
Answer, the real answer, Emily, actually, I did.
Are you in love with the butler?
I was in love with the butler.
How did you not bring that up when we were talking about your integration with the tech industry and how you banged the Ask Jeeves butler?
I pushed that down. Down into my diary, and I didn't.
Isn't that your favorite song, I'm in love with the butler? How does that song
I'm
go
in
again?
love with the butler.
Yes, that's exactly how it goes.
That's how it goes? That's how it goes? Well, again, you're close there. You're close there. But the real answer, because it was 1995, we're talking about the most popular web browser, it was ZENA:warriorprincess.com.
I love that
It
one.
was a very popular 1995.
That wasn't a funny tag, though.
Okay.
I hope the next one's better.
Okay, here we go. Question number 2. We're all tied up. All tied up, everybody. Question number
all
2.
3 of us.
0-0.
Okay. What is the first use? So again, recorded use, we'll say within a publication, of the word hacker. Hacker. What's the first use of that term or word hacker as we know it today?
It was in Genesis.
It was in Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
It's basically around the time that God made the planet.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know it went back that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Greek gods were in this version of Genesis.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
Zeus came like, yo, God, you such a hacker dog.
Is that?
And God was like, 7 days, motherfucker.
Okay, all
and
right.
that was the actual first incident. They didn't use motherfucker because that was a little too harsh for back in the day.
So hacker was like a negative term that
no, it was
Gangster
like,
Zeus was throwing down. That's
no,
what
it was
you're
a
saying?
good, like, you such a
Okay.
good hacker, motherfucker. Look what you
Okay.
just hacked.
Oh, he's like,
Yeah.
I got it.
I hacked the planet.
Okay.
Literally, that's what they said. Hack the planet.
We're back to Matthew Lillard. There's no escaping Matthew fucking Lillard. Okay, well, Jeff's got I think he could be right, Emily, but what do
I
you
don't think so.
What do you think?
Ooh,
First use of that term, hacker.
You're going to have to go
history.
before Genesis. Good luck with that shit.
hacker was first used in the Big Bang, pre-Genesis.
Wow, so you're going even farther back. Okay.
Yes.
Well, all right.
Where?
To the Big Bang.
Okay.
That's great backstory.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know what the first use of hacker was.
That's all
I
right.
would imagine the first use
Don't
of
get
hacker
upset.
was it when was I don't know.
When Angelina Jolie met Matthew Lillard.
Yes.
That could be.
In that jumpsuit
That
with
could
that
be.
gray hair
That could be.
during
All
her
right.
was that was pre Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
because
well
she married
before.
that guy.
Oh,
She
yeah.
married Dade.
That's correct.
Thank
That's
you.
correct. That is correct.
Damn.
No,
you know
that-
your date history.
Yeah, that's the current Sherlock on Elementary, whatever the hell his name is. That's correct. Sick boy from Trainspotting.
Some may say.
No, I like everything you're saying, and that, as Jeff says, some say that the first use of that term hacker was in MIT student paper The Tech on November 20th, 1963, talking about a telephone system hacked by a group of students.
Yeah.
Some people say that. It's much longer ago than I thought. But the true answer, oh boy, I don't know if this one's going to work here. The true answer of the first use of that term hacker was actually in 1892 by Lizzie Borden describing dinner with her family. Okay.
I don't get it.
There you
No,
go.
I don't get it
All right,
either.
You guys can Google that.
Ryan?
Lizzie Borden.
I'm not going to Google it. I didn't even watch
Can
the
I ask
movie.
you an honest question? Can I give you a little Scrum Master quiz?
Sure. Uh-oh.
How long ago did you write these questions?
1971.
Was it on a BART train on the way over here?
1971. No, this was after being mind numbed by watching the net, and my mind was so numb. This is the best I could come up with. All right, so we are tied up here. So it looks like this one's for all the marbles.
What's the
Okay,
last question?
There we go.
Yeah.
Question
please
number 3.
Get this over with.
Those were somewhat tech related. This is, of course, as always, the curveball question during the At the Movies quiz. Simply, how many movies has Sandy Bullock been in? How many movies? Closest to the number wins. Bonus points if you name the first major motion picture that she was in, again, in a starring role. She'd actually done some TV prior to that, but we're going to start that at 1992.
You wanna
was
go
the
first?
first movie. So I'm looking for bonus points for the name of the first movie and also closest to the number of movies she has been in to date.
I don't know anything about Sandra Bullock except for she had a really whack nose job, and the first movie I can remember her in is Speed, but I know that's not right because that was a very important
too
movie.
obvious.
It's too obvious. So the answer is I don't know or care. But what my numeric guess would be,
Yeah, do Price is Right it. You know,
my
just give me a
numeric guess would be like 26 movies.
26.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to go with The Ten Commandments.
Was the first movie
The first movie she was in.
The original Ten Commandments
Yeah,
with Charlton Heston.
She was one of the Jews that
Really?
escaped Egypt.
How old is she?
She's old, but, hence the nose job.
Okay.
And
She's
but
like 83 years
her
old.
nose was down here.
Wow.
She's so old
Okay.
because
I
it was
didn't know
just
she was that
drooping
old.
and sagging
Wow.
down.
Okay.
Yeah, she was one of the Jews. You can barely see her. If you freeze frame on the new restored
so she's
version,
an extra. She's an
yeah,
extra.
she's an extra.
I gotcha.
You can
Okay.
see her.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say that she has been in as many movies as will fit in a 6-demon bag.
Less wind, fire, and all that kind of thing. So that's probably
It's a lot of things.
It's gonna fit. It's gonna fit. Okay. All right. That was a Big Trouble in Little China reference. These are
That was
pretty
just
good
for
here.
Ryan.
These are pretty good here.
I've been so busy.
Well, you know
living
what?
life, I
Emily
don't.
went with an actual numerical guess.
She's
She was-
closer.
She was pretty close because it's 31.
Oh, shit.
So
Name them all right now.
We're gonna give that. Oh, I almost wrote them down like a madman. But the first movie, 1992, was Love Potion Number 9.
I do remember
That
that
was
movie.
followed by Speed
With
in
that
94.
guy who
Oh.
is
The Net
in
95.
I was
Space
close.
Camp. Donovan.
That's correct.
Something.
Whatever his name is. But
yeah.
So, well, 26, close to 31. We're going to give it to Emily. Emily wins this Scrum Masters quiz. Can you believe it?
What do I win?
Can you believe it?
What's the prize?
You don't get stuck in the burp bin.
That's right.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but it sounds...
You win a weekend with I'm Not Ruth Marks on Twitter. Okay, everybody, we survived. That was the recap of The Net.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, you got it. So as we mentioned before, Jeff and I and some other old favorites of yours out there did film a fun little video that we wanted to share with you.
Did I mention that?
Well, we have in the previous two.
It's still coming.
Still coming. It's been 3 months and 2 weeks. I know.
Passive aggressive much?
Yeah, it's just...
You guys
think it's Citizen Kane at this point. I don't know, but it's coming soon. I don't know if we're going to get another one in before the holidays and
Probably
the new
not.
year. If not, so we want to say happy holidays, happy fucking New Year. We'll see you in 2015. Stay compressed, everybody.
Don't watch The Net.
Bye. Minutes, 12 seconds.